read what you want. Read what you enjoy reading. And don't let anybody shame you for it.
Well, I don't know why it's not doing my face. It's fine. It's fine. I guess y'all just won't see me.
We don't need to see you.
It's just a face, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe it'll, like, randomly pop up. If not, it's cool.
Maybe. Hopefully one day.
Alright, y'all doing this? We doing this?
We're recording.
Alright, let's do this. First off, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Book Talk. I'm Lucia.
Katie.
And Mary.
And yeah, today we are going to be discussing... What book did we read?
We read The Stolen Heir by Holly Black.
The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. This month was Mary's Choice. I finished this book this morning, as per usual. As per usual.
As it happens.
Yeah, it happens. And, yeah, tell me about it. Did y'all like it? What was the plot? It's set, 7 years after the...
It's 10 years.
More.
It's 10.
It's almost 10.
7 plus.
The ages, I think, are 17 and 19 for our main characters.
Yeah, something like... Oh, yeah, because they made a point.
It's about a decade later, a decade after the events of The Queen of Nothing.
Yep.
From the Cruel Prince trilogy.
Yep. I'm gonna...
So this is a spin-off.
Yep, yes.
Of the Cruel Prince trilogy.
Which we did on the channel, for those who don't know.
We did. That's where you first met me, the Queen of Nothing.
Yes, this is true. This is true. Man, it's been almost a year, right?
It's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a year.
It's been over a year.
It's been a year. Yeah, wow.
Happy birthday.
Yay!
Yeah. But yeah, it's set 10 years after the events of The Queen of Nothing. And like you said, it's a spin-off. And this one is focusing on Oak, the brother, mostly... I always forget her name. What's her name? Soren? Ren, yeah. Basically Ren.
Yeah, Ren.
And she's...
Her name's Surin, but...
Yeah.
Let's go by Ren.
Yeah. But, her full name is actually think is pretty cool, though. It kind of reminds me of, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. It's really, really
But
cool.
she does go by Ren. And it focuses on their journey and finding her because, when we find her in the beginning of the story, she's, basically living on her own with... she's surviving, if you will.
Yeah.
She's kind of living like a feral cat.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and
she's, slowly watching after her non-family.
Which was really sad.
Her unfamily.
Her unfamily, yeah, that's what
it was really sad.
Yeah.
Hearing how she gets, taken away from them, too, is...
Very,
kind of traumatizing.
Yeah, and she's still walking.
But I thought the way that Jude was taken from her parents was awful.
I know.
Which, it was. Very... She witnessed the Cruel Prince spoilers. She literally witnessed her mom get murdered.
Yeah.
And her dad.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
But this was also kind of messed up.
So...
Stolen in the night.
Okay, so, for those who don't know, we've had to change when we did this review, I don't know, 3 or 4 different times. Life happens. It happens. So I would, start the book and then stop it, start it and stop it, start it and stop it. So in reality, I didn't start it today. I just finished it today. So there's some parts where I read 2 weeks ago or stuff like that. So my memory of it isn't as fresh as usually it would be,
Yeah.
So sorry.
I finished this.
And y'all finished it before me.
On the 4th of March. So
yeah, y'all finished it.
I finished this ages ago.
And then Katie before both of us, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Julia.
She got to it before I did.
But I will have to say, and if I'm being completely honest, I was a little hesitant. I was going to read it regardless. But because I didn't have the... her other books, the other Holly books that I read, the Folk of the Air series, I thought they were fine, but they were not my favorite. If I'm being honest, So when you picked this one...
To be honest.
I usually am, so it's okay. When you picked this one, I was like, okay, because... Well, it's your pick, And then it took me a while, because I was like, I don't want to buy the book. But I got over that.
As per last book talk, any one of us is fully capable of DNFing the pick.
Yes.
Sorry, if y'all tuned into the last one, I did not join the
No, yeah. But that's okay.
So in your case, you would just have to deal with the fact that you would then have to upload the video
Yeah.
of the two of us that we would be recording. But,
But I still was like, I want to do it. And I was honestly pleasantly surprised that I vibed with this one. Because I from what I can remember, because it's been a year, one of my complaints, if you will, with Holly Black, and I'm not even talking about sex, guys. I'm not even going to talk about that. Was like, I couldn't, for the life of me, and I'm pretty visual, like, person. It's like, if I could read something, I'm able to, like, imagine it pretty well. And, like, for the life of me, in her other series, like, I couldn't pinpoint exactly where I was in the story, like, imagery-wise. And this one, I could. You know, like, where they're talking about where she's in the real world, but there's, like, in-between world where, like, the Fae live and everything like that. I can picture it a lot more. And then I was like, when I was reading it, I was like, did they say this in the first one? I don't quite remember. Maybe it was there. I'm just tripping balls about it. I'm not quite sure. You know what I mean?
I have seen fan art for this entire series, and it shocks me every time, because I'm just convinced I never knew what the characters looked like. Other than Jude and Cardin from that series, I was like, I don't know what anyone looks like.
I don't remember Oak having goat feet.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah, the goat
but then
feet.
I saw fan art, and I did send it to you guys, because Lucia was like, what does he look like? Like, where does it end? So I found it on Holly's page.
Yeah, but his
like,
feet.
Super cute. I was like, I had to crop it to get rid of spoilers.
Yeah, of course, me being me, I was like, so when they fall, because he's a prince, how are they, where exactly? But, like, just, like, what is it called? The layout of the setting of the place, I was able to envision it so much more in this one. And so, one, that made me like the book more. And I also liked Ren as a character.
Yes.
I'm low-key obsessed with
She's
Ren,
great.
So I get it.
And then, I know we're jumping all everywhere, but also if you're see these book reviews, we tend to jump around everywhere. But I don't know about y'all, but I was also getting like high key, low key vibes of the Immortal Engines, right? It was because like the Clockwork
Immortal Instruments.
Yeah, what is the one where we read? The prequel, the Infernal Devices, because they're talking about things made out of like machinery. They're made out of like bones and twigs and stuff like that, and they're like still alive. Right, yeah. When I was reading it, I was like, I'm getting high key vibes, which I really liked the Infernal Devices series. So that
they are friends, yeah.
So like twigs and everything. So I was like, if anything, that just gives it an added bonus. That it reminded me of it.
It was a neat, like the things they were hunting for, like the whole concept was kind of really cool.
Yeah, and then it was like a week or two after Mary you picked this book that I like looked at the back of it because I was like at Target or something. I was like, oh, Oak is in here. I just noticed that.
Honestly, the only reason why I picked this is because we had done the Cruel Princess. I was gonna continue it regardless, but I was like, do we still want to do it for book talk? I think that'd be a full circle.
Yeah.
Which means next year when the second one comes out, we got to do that.
Which I don't 100% am willing to read what's next because I liked this book. And also,
I liked it a lot, yeah.
I'm happy you liked it. I too gave it a good 4-star rating.
And then, okay. So the plot of this movie is that it could be a movie.
Did you watch this one?
Yeah. You can't see my face right now, but I just know that I just gave myself a are you serious look?
It's an aggressive face palm.
Like a slumped shoulder sort of thing. Like, are you serious, Lucia?
Yeah.
Stupid Discord. Whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, the plot of this book, not movie, is, Ren, she's living out in the wilds. She's breaking curses from the Fae because, it's a little something that she can do when good old Oak comes in and is like, hey, can you do this favor for me? Because your mom, the queen of the teeth or whatever, she's doing some bad shit and she got some bones and, she took my dad and what else was there?
You did skip over one little part.
I'm sure it wasn't little. What's happened?
It was before Oak comes in. He saves her.
That's right.
Because she's spying on her own family.
And Badra.
And it's the Court of Teeth that, yeah. she's spying on her on family, and Bogdana.
Yeah.
Lucky that I just found her name. Bogdana is like coming after her.
Yes.
I was like, you thought you could hide, you thought you could get away. Like, I know it's been a while, but come here, girl.
Yeah, and that was
like I knew it was a matter of time before I'd catch you over here. So if I tried to attack them, I'd come.
Yeah, that's right. And that was another thing.
Away, and then Oak saves the day, and he's like, "Hi, you're coming with me now."
That I really liked about this book for Bogdana. Like, I can literally picture in my mind my own version of her. Like, just the descriptions were really spot on. Especially with Ren and, Oak, the blue skin tints and the blue hair, the teeth and everything. Like, I really liked the visuals that it was giving me, and I was here for it. But it's like, yeah, your dad's dead. No, the dad has been dead for a while. But, the king, whatever his name is, the king of teeth.
Fat chance I don't remember his name.
He's dead.
Not really.
His hands made it from a necklace or into a necklace sort of thing choker. That was fun.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, if you come just help me, I need to go save my father. The red cap.
Yeah, Matic.
I'm
a bitches hate Matic.
How did y'all feel about Oak being like, oh, I know he does a lot of bad stuff, but he's still my dad, so I gotta save him. Well, it's okay, Julian.
I can kind of understand it. Like
he raised him.
He is his dad, yeah.
But also, it's going against what your sister, the queen, wants.
Yeah. I kind of wish that there was a little. I know it's not their book, but I wish there was a little bit, just a little taste of Jude and Carter in this, and less references to them. Whenever Jude showed up at the end or something like that,
I'm thinking she has to be in the second one.
Maybe she'll come in the next one.
I think she has to, because they literally put at the end, spoilers, for the end of this book, that hey, you have Oak, so Jude didn't do anything for her father. She will definitely do something to try and get Oak back.
Yeah.
But every time they did bring up, the cruel king and, the cruel prince and, Jude must have done something to Camden to, bewitch him or something, I did get a little bit of happiness. I don't know why. I was like, I know those characters. Or, what was the guy? I forgot his name, but they mentioned him in this one. He was in the Court of Shadows that would, teach Oaks how to do stuff.
The bomb?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The bomb was the girl.
Or they mentioned this, the people in there.
The ghost?
No, I think it was the chick, the bomb. What?
I don't remember who they were.
They mentioned them.
I feel like the bomb was the girl.
They definitely mentioned the bomb. Maybe I just confused the names and I said it was a guy. But, I was like, when you mentioned them, I was like, I know that one. But, yeah, so our crew, it's Oak, Ren, I don't know how to say his name, but he's not a knight, but Tyrnan. Okay, his name.
Tiernan.
His name. They're set on a journey without the approval of the court, with the, Oak's family.
Without Jude's
basically, Oak's family, to try and steal a heart, right? Or to find a heart, steal a heart, in order to trick, Ren's mother to get back the red cap.
Yeah. And keep in mind, the Fae cannot lie.
Exactly.
But they can tell half-truths.
Exactly.
So they can withhold information, and they can technically say the correct thing while still confusing you.
Yep. And then all along the way, they go into adventures of, they meet trolls, and they meet, mermaids and sharks. They meet, what's his name? Hyacinth. T-Man's lover. But also along the way...
yeah, Tiernan's lover.
But along the way also, Ren is seeing, what is it called? More of her power of evoke, to break spells, if you will, be brought along the way. Yeah. But also there's this tell of, you need the heart and the tongue the tongue, but, Jesus. I don't know. And along the way, Ren is also losing her heart You know, literally, she's kind of falling for Oak, and Oak, being the little trickster he is. Some of my favorite parts of this book is when they were younger, when they're playing the games, when he would she would hide underneath the bed.
It was kind of really cute reading that little bits about them when they were younger.
Yeah. And then it made me think about when they're older.
You see, even at the end of Queen of Nothing, where he's like, you're going to save her, right? Like, we can save her.
I remember.
He had a little crush on her back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, he love at first sight for her. But can we also talk about, in between all of that, because Surin does get away after they have their like little thing that you learned a little bit about in this. We learned that Oak is a fucking fuckboy.
He is.
He's a little player.
He's all like, well, I'm a prince. It's expected of me. He's like, well, I fell in love with you first. There was a mermaid who wanted to drown me. There was the one chick.
He's so open about it, too. He's like, what do you want to know?
He is. I think one of the personality traits, or I don't even know if it's a personality necessarily, more like, I guess maybe it's a personality thing, maybe not. But it's like, they kind of, whenever he would, he literally said, one of the drawbacks, it's like kind of like a double-edged sword for Oak, is being trained and being raised by the Red Cap, is his fighting. You know, he didn't learn to fight playfully. He learned to fight, you know, to kill. And whenever he doesn't know how to hold back. Exactly. And whenever he does that, it gets like a glazed look over his eyes and everything. And also, he uses a freaking needle sword, which obviously reminded me of Arya from Game of Thrones. And I'm like, yeah! Yeah! So that...
It's honestly so sad how Surin unconsciously, he doesn't need to, forces his hand to fight, and then he gets so mad at her. He's like, what? Like, you didn't enjoy seeing the worst part of me? Like, he hates that part of himself.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. So sad for him.
Yep. I'd also liked the, when they were being welcomed by the trolls, they learned the story. There's different versions of the stories about the two king trolls. And how, Ren was also, like, feeling the ground. You know, just like her, just like the elements, you know, she was becoming part of it. And it was just really cool. And she's like, that power is too strong, but I can redirect what's happening to make like, oh, those guys, the bonesy twig things, are the bad guys, not us. So I just thought that was cool.
Right.
Hold on, I need to pop this Hall's thing. I forgot what it's called. Anyways, so also another thing that we learn throughout this book, and well, we also see it in the other series, you know, but there is a contraption that Rin had to wear when she was younger, and it was basically kept her from speaking. And she eventually got it off, obviously, at the end of Queen of Nothing and everything like that. And she was able to, like, be in command of her mother, because in reality she was supposed to be, you know, the heir or whatever. Yeah.
Because Jude forced Lady What's-Her-Face to pledge fealty.
Yes, exactly.
To Surin, which, of course, if you do, your word is binding.
Exactly. And that itself is actually, one, it's a big setup tool, because they're, you know, obviously it's going to be used later on in the book, but it's also a big trust between Oak and her. It's like, listen, because T-Man, again, I'm not going to say his name right. Thank you. Again, guys, if you're new here, I'm terrible with names.
It's fine.
Tiernan. Yep. Tiernan. Oh! Sorry. He would, obviously he doesn't trust her, rightfully, you know what I mean? But, he's like, oh, you keep doing shady stuff, you know, that things can go back on your face and everything like that. And then, eventually, after one of their, dangerous escapades, when Ren is trying to go save, well, because they went to, I don't remember which place it was, but they went to go to a court, and Rin went to go take Hyacinth from the jail cell, the prison cell.
Yeah.
But I forgot what place they were at, because they went to like 3 different places. Like main places, you know? I mean, obviously not bus stations and, you know, markets.
No, that was like when they were looking for the heart.
Yeah.
They went to see that, like,
this lady.
But that's the reason why they're like, oh, we can't trust her. But also I do like the riddle part too. In order to break open the jail cells, she had to solve some riddles. That was cool.
Yeah, and she like broke everyone out of jail, and then all of them were like, we'll follow you.
Exactly. One of them being Hyacinth, Tyrion's lover, but they're at opposite sides of the, you know, what they value in a leader.
We love a good forbidden love.
Yep. His nickname is Sin. Wasn't it like Sin, Hyacinth? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's Sin.
But yeah, and that's when she, like I said, like I just mentioned, that's where she learns how to do the riddles, and she gets rid of them, but also she helps Hyacinth break part of his curse off. Because one of the drawbacks, if you will, being with the red cape, was you're cursed. You were...
Yeah, to be a bird.
Yeah.
He were a bird for like so long. So he was like, his curse was slowly taking him back over, which is partially why they were also like controlling him. It was to like make it slower.
Yeah.
But she was able to literally like, and it hurts her, but she was able to force. She was able to break the curse.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Thank you so much. I pledge to you now." She's like, please don't. He does anyways.
I forgot his name, but I also like the horse guy.
And you should order me to show up where we're supposed to go. Don't just order me away. Order me to show up here. And she's like, I'm not going to do that. He's like, you would be smart.
Like, come on.
Spoiler alert, come to the end. He's like, well, you didn't order me not to come, so there you go.
Yeah, he's at the Queen of...
Good that I'm here.
She's at the Queen of Teeth's palace, if you will. Yeah, which in the way that actually helped her in her favor. Coffee coughs.
Always.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh.
Vera got Julian sick and Julian got me sick.
Oh no. Poor babies.
It happens. But yeah. What else happens? I feel like there's so much happened.
Well, back to like what... No, so I guess it wasn't unintentionally. It was, but she didn't think that he would have to fight for her. It's after she gets like Hyacinth and she does a little prison break for all of them, and she goes back to the party that they're at, and I almost called him Carter. Realizes that he's like, oh shit, I gotta fix this. So he has to fight an ogre.
That's right. I remember.
Like but already he was like, punch me.
I remember.
Punch me. So he's just taking hit after hit after hit. So the ogre, so that was before that happened. And then after that happened, he's like, fight me. And the ogre's like, you really want to die? You have a death wish? And he's like, fight me. So Oak, like, did that initial, like, beating to set up them to underestimate him.
I remember.
That he, like, wouldn't be able to defend himself. Mm-hmm. But in reality, he only fights to kill, and he wins.
Yeah, exactly.
He takes you down in, like, 3 moves.
Because...
He's like... Try it.
His persona is that of a playboy, fuckboy, woman, I wouldn't say womanizer, but just, ladies' man sort of thing. So he got him, and he's such a trickster, and he likes playing games, and that is one of the things that I actually really liked. The day that she tries to escape, because Bagged Hada or whatever, crazy lady... Yep. She came, she finds her again when they're like camping or whatever. And, she's all like, hey, don't listen to the prince. He's your enemy. He's a trickster, this and that. And they're gonna try and do this. And she's like, no. But then she's like, what if? So then, she like, and then, Tyrion, he's like, I saw you talking to her. And so they're like, they've,
you're coordinating.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually, you know, he takes her back to the, what is it called? The fire area where they're staying, you know, in the woods. And, you know, they all fall asleep and Oak's just like, it's fine, it's fine. I think, right? I don't remember. Yeah. And then when they were asleep, what is it called? What's her name? Oh my god. Rin takes the,
oh, she tries to take the bridle and leave.
Yeah.
So she, like, hops on a bus.
Yeah.
And also, there's this, like, bird, hawk. I think it's a hawk.
I think it's an owl.
Owl. Yeah, there's an owl. So there's another bird that is, like, just watching everything. She thinks she gave everyone the slip. But before she, like, runs away, she, like, grabs the bridle. And then Oak wakes up. And they, like, have a nice little conversation.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to sleep. She gets away, thinks she's not followed, gets on the bus, goes to touch the bridle that is supposed to be around her. To be like, oh, I'm safe, I'm fine. Because I think she sees the owl. Mm-hmm. She's like, no, we're all good. And then she realizes she doesn't have it. Realizes Oak took it off of her when he woke up.
Sneaky. Yes.
Sneaky boy. And then, like, I think the tires got slashed. Yeah. And she, like, looks out the window and sees Tiernan and Oak. Or at least just Oak. I don't know if Tiernan was.
It gave me very Jeepers. Oh, no, it wasn't. Tyrion wasn't there because he didn't tell. Oak didn't tell Tyrion what happened.
Right. So it was just Oak. Yeah.
And he's like, I understood why, but also I don't like to lose.
Yeah. He's like, I get it, but, like, next time try harder.
Yeah, I really like their...
Don't out trick a trickster.
I really like their playful demeanor. And again, it goes back to when they were children, when they would play games, like, okay, if you win, you get this. If you win, you know, I'll do this. And such things like that. And I think that's what was heartbreaking for Ren, because towards the end of the book, when she's like, I knew that everything that I wanted, or everything I knew he was going to betray me, essentially, is what she's saying. But her heart was telling her, no, it's fine. Which the heart is the main thing about this book. Because the heart, which is what the Queen of Teeth wanted, which they needed it to have to take to her, where they said, oh, we'll just give her this deer heart. It's fake. She'll be confused for a second. Meanwhile, Ren is like, who am I? What am I? What am I made of? Why am I blue?
I'm gonna be...
Here. So here's the plot twist that happens at the end. So if you really don't want to know what happens at the end of this book, stop watching. Yeah. Here's the end of the book.
Exactly.
I called that plot twist.
I did as well.
Like the second he came back from
I called her, not Bogdana.
Well, like... When he came back from that witch and was like, oh, the heart's unattainable, I was like, okay, Cern has the heart. Like, the heart is her
absolutely.
Heart. Like,
so, the plot twist, Cern has the heart.
Yeah, it's literally in her.
The heart that they're trying to get is in Cern. Yep. But the biggest plot twist of all is that Bogdana is her mom.
Yeah.
Which, like, we already knew that she created her, but, like, she's like, I made you.
Yeah, like, literally.
I'm mother.
Literally.
I literally made you.
Yeah.
And there's this whole reason as to why I put the heart in you, because I couldn't do it I couldn't do something with some other.
Yeah, they needed like an heir of the whatever Camden's family is, and you know, the green whatever their family name is. But
so I think, like Bogdana had a curse put on her, so like she had to protect the heart. She couldn't like kill it, so then she had to create something and hoped that somebody else would kill it.
She's like, you wanted power to telling the Queen of Teeth or whatever. Like, you wanted power, and it was there the entire time. You just didn't fucking know. And I was like, oh! But before this, right? Like, you know, after they escaped the troll camp or whatever, because not Camden, I almost said it too. When Oak, he, you know, drinks. See, I said it again! I used to always call Carden Camden.
You said it earlier, and I'm like, you'll see it, and I want you to zoom in on my face. When you did it, and I'm just like, Carden. I just didn't say it out loud for you.
You see? I'm terrible at names. Anyways, after they, you know, escape the troll camp, and Oak drinks the poison or whatever, they're like, okay, we're about to enter the kingdom, and this is what we gotta do, you know, this is the aerial shot, and this is how we get in, we'll pretend to be maidservant, you know, we'll pretend to be that, and then they enter the bedroom of the Queen of Teeth, and there's like 3 bodies like in the bed, And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And alarm sends off, and they're like, oh, we gotta go. And then when they're like trying to escape, 10 guards, the bird ones, I think, like surround them. So that's a no bueno nacho, and they lead them to like the dining hall, where they see, the Troll King, who was not in where the trolls live, because trolls, if they become, if they see the sunlight or whatever, they become to stone. They're like, well, how does, this troll able to see sunlight? And they're like, oh, that's an interesting part of not cursed and stuff like that, which why I thought was fun. And, other people are there, like, again, quoting also the Queen of Teeth. And then that's when they're like, what's going on? And, her mom, if you will, you can't see me, but I just did little air quotes. The Queen of Teeth was like, how about I give you the power to look like a human. You can go back to your family. You do this and that. You leave me alone. Because again, Ren has the power to like shut that shit down. And what does Ren do? She, spits in her quote unquote mom's face. And then they're like, give me her tongue. And then...
Oh my god, yeah.
I was like, what? And then... freaking Oak was like, trying to fight, everyone. But he's like surrounded, so he couldn't really do anything. So all the while, Ren is like, has her tongue out with the fork. Like they literally have the fork, like trying to keep her tongue out. I forgot what it's called, the whatever instrument.
Yeah.
And then they cut it off.
Prongs.
And I was like, bruh!
Literally cut it.
They literally did it. There was not a single part that...
It's not graphic. So there was a little bit when it immediately happened where I was like...
The thought of it is so gross.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that it actually happened.
Yeah.
Until, like, a little later when she's like, I can't talk. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
And then I was like, there's blood everywhere. And, there's so much pain. Yeah. And all the while, she, like, I think she says she looked at Oak or whatever. And and he just has, like, this look in his eyes. And I was like, bruh. I was like, oh.
So then she has to go down and hang out with Maddox in the cell.
Yeah.
And they have a lovely little chat. And he basically says, like, I know I done a lot of bad things, but, like...
He's like, I may be a bad person, but I don't give bad advice. And I was like, period! Yeah. But before that, she's like...
Yeah! I'm a horrible person. I'll kill someone, but I'm not gonna tell you I'm not gonna tell you bad advice.
But before that, she's like, waking up, kind of not awake, and Oaken and Maddox are talking. She's like, oh, she's gonna hate you. She's going to want to kill you. And, and then Maddox is like, oh, you should just kill her. I'm never gonna kill her. Well, that's when she's gonna want to kill you, sort of thing. And, and Ren's like, again, kind of awake, kind of not asleep, or, and it's like, what exactly, thinking in her brain, what exactly did he do for me to warrant these, stuff?
Yeah.
And that's when she wakes up.
This is Oak telling Maddox that she is the heart.
Yeah.
And Mag saying, she's gonna hate
you
for not telling
her.
Yeah. And, spoiler alert, she sure does.
But and then that's when they wake up or whatever, and that's when he's like, basically tells her, aren't you tired of being just like a player in your own story, basically? Like, that's not what he says, but it's basically what he says. And I was like, ooh, that's a good line. And then, because Hyacinth is there, he tells her, like, hey, this key here, I'll meet you here. And so here we go. Sort of thing, And,
yeah, and then it goes from 0 to 100 so fast.
But I do have to say that one of the reasons why Ren feels so betrayed and is so trying to ignore any red signs up until the end for Oak is because she so desperately wants love.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that. And it's really sad because, again, she had her unfamily, if you will, but then they were taken from her. And the part going back, the part where she was able to talk to her sister and her mom and stuff like that, is that you on the phone? I was like, oh, that's so heartbreaking.
We totally glossed over the fact that when she did that jailbreak earlier on before...
she saved the girl, yeah.
She saves a girl, and everyone's like, you shouldn't have saved that human girl.
Yeah.
But whatever. So she takes her phone, And
sorry, I'm dying.
I'm sorry.
Mood. She takes that girl's phone. It's like, you can go free if you give me the phone. She's like, fine. Right. So she takes the girl's phone. She calls her mom, and her mom's like, hello? And then I don't think Ren says anything.
No, she doesn't say anything, yeah.
Because she stays silent, and then the mom's like, Ren.
I know!
She's like, oh, fuck.
But it was so
and then
sweet.
She calls again, and the sister picks up, and she starts having this whole conversation. And they're like, of course I remembered you. Like, I've been waiting for you to come back. Yeah. Like, I saw you outside our house, dipshit.
It was really sweet, yeah.
It was heartbreaking. Because, like, I feel for her. And again, I literally said in the beginning when we started this video, I really liked Ren, you know?
Yeah.
Because I can...
the worst part of all that is...
Like you said, Katie, you're obsessed with her.
Yeah. But they, like, when they took her from them, made her think that they...
Yeah, immensely.
Like, fabricated that, yeah. So, like, for her to be able to come back and be like, no, we don't hate you.
Yeah. But she can't exactly also go back because, one, she says it herself. She's afraid that they would hate her on the real because she considers herself a monster, you know? So she doesn't want to feel that love again and have it taken away from her. But also, if she were to go back, that would put them in danger, you know?
Yeah.
So...
with all the history that's happened, she, like, can't ever go
exactly.
back. But she can have some sort of relationship with them. And I think that's...
yeah. It's really sad, though. But going back to towards the end of the book, it's like, I understand why she's ignoring, like I said, the red signs, the red flags from Oak. Mm-hmm. But she literally, she uses a key that Hyacinth gives her, and she's like, I know this place like the back of my hand. It's all a place small enough for a child to hide, for a girl to hide. That's what she did. So she was able to, she went back to, what was it, the court place where, like, you know, all of the
Court of Teeth.
Where, exactly, but like where all the shit went down, where her tongue was cut off. And there was like a fragment left of the bone. Because the way that, I forgot her name, but, you know, the Queen of Teeth was able to silence, Ren, was she was able to put like flower petals or something in her mouth. And it's like the first one was like, oh, if you speak, then the power would go to the Queen of Teeth and it wouldn't be to Ren anymore. And then she put another one in her mouth. And there's this whole thing. But like...
yeah, she gave her enchanted petal that would make her give up the fealty that she was
exactly
given. She would like say that you're free. And she's like, nope, can't say that, so I can't talk
exactly,
at all.
And that's when they cut off her tongue.
So then they took the tongue, so then she stops talking. So then obviously the petal doesn't work anymore because there's no tongue to stop.
Yep. So then she goes over there. She's like, oh man, I'm so dumb. Why did I think anything was still here in order to get power back of some sort? But then she sees a piece still there. And she's like, well, if it's magic, you know, I'm not good with magic. But if, you know, the mother or whatever was able to do this, so maybe it can help bring my tongue back. You know, I was like, okay, I can see that logic, you know. And she's also been having magic course through her the entire time. Considering, you know, she was able to break curses and stuff like that. She said she wasn't good at magic. I said, well, that just seems like it's untapped. Personally.
Yeah. Which is like every fantasy book. It's just like, either you didn't know you had magic, or you knew you had magic and you just weren't good at it. It's like, no, you just didn't know how to use it.
Yeah. Side note, I did actually read a fae book like a month ago. And it's like a steamy fae book.
What was the name?
I'll have to look it up. But anyways, she gets her tongue back. Yay!
Yeah, so she can talk. So then the end of the book gets to happen. And she has to fake like she still can't talk.
Yes.
So then they go in with their story and whatnot. Excuse me. And then she's able to like backstab literally everyone.
Yep.
Because at that point she's learned everything and she's like, fuck all of you.
She's like, Matic, you can go back to Jude. Anyone who wants to leave, y'all can go. And then all this while Oak is like kneeling on the ground. He's like, oh, he's all playing along. And they're like, nope, you're going to be wearing this. I forgot what it's called. You said it earlier.
She puts the bridle
exactly.
on. Mm-hmm.
And
I was like, please don't. I'm sorry.
Because, like, literally before this all went down, Oak and she had a conversation. It's like, you know, she literally tells him, you know, Jude may have inherited his scheming, but you inherited his love of fighting. Like, you love it. And he's like, oh, is that what are you scared of me? He's like, no. She's like, no, I'm not scared of you for that. And that's when she doesn't say anymore, but then she starts speaking or thinking about her heart and stuff like that, and her feelings towards him.
Yeah.
Because again, every time that, and again, all of it, whatever, is in her POV, so you don't actually know what he is thinking. You'll see flashes of vulnerability with her, and like, but all in all, we don't know in his heart of hearts what he is thinking. We only have what he says and the look in his eyes sort of thing. So, yeah. I think he definitely didn't think maybe his feelings towards her were going to be that, they became.
Yeah.
And so she puts the bridle on him. Bridle? I was like, that's not the word.
So it's like a horse bridle?
Yeah.
No, those
yeah.
are?
I'm from Texas, of course.
It's a bridle, but for people.
Yeah. It's they wear them on wedding days. Yeah. No, they don't. I'm joking.
I don't think that's bridles.
I mean, that's a kink somewhere.
You're not fucking wrong.
But yeah, he's like, please let me. And then at the end, he's like, please let me talk to you. Let me tell you what happened. And instead, she's like, nah, fam. But I liked the twist that she put the bridle on him. So that's why I was like, I like the ending. And so I am looking forward to the next book, actually. Anything else?
I'm so mad with how this ended.
You're mad?
You're telling me there's not more?
Well, there will be.
I'm like, why is it a cliffhanger?
That's fair.
This is why I don't read unfinished series. And this is a duology, so at least there's only one other book.
That's true. And when does it come out? Next year?
Yeah, I think it's next January.
That's so far away.
I know. Me with all of the books that I want to read, their dates just get pushed back farther and farther. And I'm like, please, just give me the book.
So, is there... I know we kind of talked about the whole book or whatever, but is there a particular scene that you liked that we didn't really gloss over?
I just loved all the tension. I think it was... Hot take. I think this banter and tension was better than Judy.
100%.
I agree. I'm curious.
100%. Because, like, okay, here's the thing.
Like an early book of hers. Like, the writing style is really developed in this compared to Cruel Prince.
Yeah. I still preferred the Cruel Prince storyline so far, and I think it's just because I had the pleasure of having the entire series.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
I will say, I didn't like the Cruel Prince as much as I liked the Wicked King and then the Queen of Nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
I think is a hot take in and of itself, because a lot of people are like, oh, the second book is never as good as the first.
What?
But for so many series that I've read, I've preferred the sequel to the original book. Like, yeah, I had to read the original book in order to realize that I loved the series. Yeah. But a lot of times the first book was not a good book, in my opinion. Or it was like, it's mid. I'll read the second one because it's out.
Yeah.
If these books weren't... Yeah.
Me with the moral instruments.
If these books weren't out, I probably wouldn't read the second one and be like, well, I don't need to know the second one because I don't care.
I just, like you were saying just now, Katie, I don't know when the years, the Cruel Prince came out and this one came out this year, but I can definitely tell the writing, she's developed her writing style better. And like I said, I was able to picture in my head what the characters look like more, what the settings look like more. And I'm a pretty visual person, especially in a world where it's, fae and folktale and, stuff like that. There's like freaking wood creatures and bones and stuff like that. I want to be able to imagine that stuff while I'm reading it. And I was able to with this one. So that in and itself, for me as a person who loves to read, is better for me. And then we have Ren, who, and also the thing with like the Cruel Prince and, that series, it was like there was a love triangle with like this two sisters and that one dude, I forgot his name, but Oak's half brother, like I don't give a shit about that, This one, they had a journey, they had a mission, they had two people who knew each other as children who grew up in two different ways, but which one is actually more kind and forgiving despite how she grew up, and versus the other one who's had a lot of privilege in his life. I'm not saying that he hasn't had, he's literally been killed so many times, and that also messes up with someone, but isn't afraid to use others to their whim for their cause. And so that makes it more interesting to me. And like the wicked prince, or sorry, the cruel prince, like someone being cruel and mean just for the mere fact of being cruel and mean, because they're Fae, that's what they do. That gets annoying really fast. And obviously, eventually, we learn somewhat of, like, I mean, not somewhat, we do learn
his obsession. Like, I'm just in love with her and I shouldn't be.
Yeah. But, like, it's just much more interesting to me, this duology. Like I said, I am looking forward to the second one, whenever it comes out. Y'all said next year. Yeah. So, yeah. And
I wish there was more Oak in it.
Maybe next book will. I'm sure people are like, I want more Oak.
I also just like more romance driven, and this wasn't. None of these books are very romance driven. It's definitely a subplot.
Yeah,
like The Cruel Prince is a political intrigue.
Yeah,
storyline with a heavy subplot. Like it is such a subplot.
Yeah, ladies, we're talking about someone who reads romance on the daily. Trust me, I get it.
Yes,
but I liked the little moments that Ren would like. Oh, I feel something, but I'm also going to ignore it.
Also gloss over the fact that they kissed. I think they might have kissed twice.
Yeah, they did.
And that's part of why she's so upset and so hurt, is that she actually let him in, even just a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was fully taking advantage of her, and he knew what he was doing the entire time. She's like, you're such a womanizer. Fine, I'll kiss you. Oh, you're betraying me. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You're my bitch now.
So, like, I but also at the same time, she does need to be aware of her power.
Yeah.
Because, we didn't even talk about it. Because after she, like, acknowledges, like, she has a heart, she has all this power, she, the Queen of Teeth was like, or like, what do you want to happen to her? I want her dead! And she, like, fucking blows up or whatever. Or just like...
Yeah, she's like, wait, I didn't mean to
I was like,
that.
I didn't know I had that power!
I didn't know if I just speak it into existence, it becomes real. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. And it also reminds me of, like, the elemental stuff in I think it was, the Queen of Nothing, when, Carden becomes like the big old snake or whatever, and they're talking, and like his feelings were how bad he was like reflecting how the earth was doing in their world or whatever. So I was like, oh, it's like that. It's all connected. I've connected the dots. You didn't connect shit. Yeah, anything else y'all want to say?
I don't think so.
I look forward to the next book.
I like the cover.
Yeah, I do like to.
Definitely really like
I don't have the physical book. Can I see what yours looks like one more time?
Don't worry. You can't even see it.
Can you turn it upside down? Thank you.
That's the special edition one too.
It's nice. It's like a birdcage.
Yeah. This is the Barnes & Noble, so the only difference is that it's black instead of white.
Yeah.
Which makes me a little upset, because all of my other books are the original covers and not black. So it's just
black
standing by itself, but it's fine.
Watch the next book you're going to get in, it's going to be in white.
No, I'm going to get the Barnes & Noble to make sure that the duology matches. If I get one special edition, I have to get all of them. If they look different, I will not let them be different.
It's going to be red. Watch. But yeah, I also have nothing else to say other than I look forward to seeing what shenanigans happen. I'm curious to see... Well, obviously there has to be a big bad thing. It's going to be like Jude and Co coming to a good oak. There has to be something else. Maybe it'll be... maybe it will be like Ren losing control or something. Because she has more power than she has.
Yeah.
There has to be more to the plot, obviously. Maybe she'll become a real person. I don't know.
Maybe. Let's hope
I'm a real boy. You've seen a Pinocchio. Yeah. It's interesting though. I look forward to seeing what happens or reading what happens. Seeing with my.
So overall, we liked this
Yes,
book.
I did.
We think you should read it. Obviously, you should probably read the Cruel Prince trilogy first, but you don't really have to.
There's names.
In all honesty.
There's names.
There's people that you know. There's important backstory that you should have, but you really don't have to read the Cruel Prince to read this and fully understand it.
Yeah,
I just recommend it.
Yes, I agree. All right, I have nothing else to say.
And here's what the book looks like without the dust jacket, which is the other difference.
It's white.
With it being Barnes & Noble, it's white.
Oh.
Versus it would be black for...
Is that a fox?
Regular
Why
one.
is there a fox?
Yeah, it's fox.
Why?
Oh, and another thing that's on the top is a little fox. On the
was there a fox in the book?
Yeah.
She has like a stuffed fox from when she was a kid.
Oh, the fox, the toy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Would you read another Holly Black book?
I mean, I'm gonna have to. I've got 2 more on my shelf that I haven't read yet.
I would read the next one of this one.
Oh, do you have The Dark Prince of the Forest?
Yeah.
I'll read the next one. I have The Book of Night. I have a signed book, and I also have it on my Kindle because I bought it on my Kindle when it was on sale, so I wouldn't have to get a physical copy. But then I found a signed copy, so I was like, well, I didn't want a Holly Black signature.
I have Coldest Girl in Cold Town, which is a vampire book. Ooh. And then Darkest Part of the Forest.
Ooh, I like the names.
There's 3 books between us that we should read.
Did you pick your book yet?
Yeah, I think we're gonna read that romance, the Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow one.
Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Let me see.
That'll be fun.
Tomorrow. I think I've heard of this. Tomorrow.
I have.
And Tomorrow.
It's been a pretty popular recommendation lately.
Oh, yeah.
Like Hank Green.
I've seen this.
Yeah, Hank Green recommends it, so I think y'all should read it.
I've seen this book at Goodwill.
Yeah.
Perfect. Go pick it up.
Right. Yeah. Thanks y'all so much for stopping by on y'all's busy days. Thanks very much for reading this book, The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. Thank you, Oak, for being a man. Because you know you don't fuck...
Being a goat, man.
Don't fucked up.
Oak is the goat.
Below.
Literally.
The below. Alright, this was Lucia.
Katie.
And Mary.
And this is What We Know What You Like, and we'll see you next time with Tomorrow. Bye!
Yeah.